What's going on, everyone? We watched Wonder Woman last night. We're going to do a spoiler-free thing. We'll let you guys know when the spoiler part comes in. I'm here with Jake and Jordan. Say hi, you two.
What up?
Hola.
Tell us what you guys think. We're trying a new software out for our audio. Tell us if you like it. Tell us if you notice a difference. We're seeing how this goes. But yeah.
Your voice sounds the same, Mason.
Annoying and loud. Good to know. Well,
What more could you want?
we watched Wonder Woman 1984. Jordan, we'll start with you. What did you think of it?
You know what? It was an adequate Christmas movie. You know what I mean? Just like Die Hard, a movie on Christmas, therefore it's a movie. Yeah. So it was fine. It was adequate. It was good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect. I enjoyed the actors. Again, big cast guy, good cast. I think the individual performances, especially from Pedro Pascal and Kristen Wiig, I think those were the two highlights of the movie, personally. But at the same time, you know, I have a special place for superhero movies in my heart, but at the same time, there's just a few pitfalls. But Gal Gadot, she's, always winning, so there's also that.
Jake, what about you?
It was all right. I mean, I was a little disappointed, I'll be honest. I definitely expected more from this movie, but a lot of like we were kind of talking about, the whole middle portion was pretty exciting. There was some good action, some good superhero fight scenes, and a couple other interesting things throughout that were fun to watch, but I don't know if it was, I don't know what my expectations were necessarily, if it was what I expected from this movie, but I just expected a little more. It just wasn't anything too crazy. It was just all right, I think.
The first one, I don't know if it was a pleasant surprise, but it was just good. The characters were better and everything. The villains still sucked. This movie, the characters were still the characters, and they didn't grow any, and the villains still sucked. So it was just like, and it was way too long. Like 2.5 hours for a superhero movie is a long time.
Yeah, it was really long. When I was getting ready to watch it, I was going to start it a couple days ago, and I realized how long it was, and I was like, oh god, I do not want to start watching a movie this long.
Same. I went before bed. I was like, normally I start stuff like 7:38. I gotta get up early for work, and I was like, okay, we got time. Like, I'll go check it out. It should be like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops, and it was almost 3 hours long. And I was like, I don't have.
I think it was 2:31.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not staying up this late to watch a movie. First off, that I don't even know if I'm gonna like. So I didn't do it. And then I stayed up yesterday and watched it, and I was just kind of like, whatever. Like, it was fine. I probably won't watch it again, which is like a testament to whatever. It wasn't bad. I used this analogy, and I'll use it again before we start recording. Or did you already say it, Jake? The burnt sandwich. It's a great burger. The middle of it's great, but the bun's burnt. That's just terrible. I don't know what to feel about that.
And the buns were a little thick, right? You know what I mean? Because the movie is a little long,
yeah,
so the buns were a little thick. They're burnt. So
it's too much bread. We're like, at the end of it, you're like literally just pull off the bun, and you're just using a steak knife to cut off the rest of the burger
You're only using like one bun. You took one bun off, and you're just eating like this, but you don't really want the second bun, but you kind of need it because you need something to support it, right? So
yeah, like instead of like if you went and to In-N-Out and you got a protein style and you just had a lettuce wrapped around it because the lettuce was smaller, you're like, that would be a better sandwich right now. But if you give me 2 loaves of bread and then just put a little piece of hamburger in the middle of it, I'm gonna be like, this is a lot of bread but not enough hamburger. Is what we got from this movie.
All right. That's one way to put it. But yeah, I think
Mason
I'm right
and I
there
are
with you.
on the same
I don't know if I would watch it
wavelength.
again.
I don't know if Jake is, but perfect.
It's just
No, I get what you're saying. I'm right there with you, but
he didn't want to use
Yeah, I
the
don't
In-N-Out analogy.
he
Fair
kind of
enough.
lost me on the analogy, I guess.
I mean, it was overstuffed, and it just, I don't know. Jake, we were writing on our Google Doc at the same time last night, writing basically the same thing to each other the whole time. Like, I'd start typing something, and you'd be typing the same thing of what problems you had. And I was like, okay. So, obviously, I'm not the only one. And I am normally a person that loves reading reviews and things beforehand. But because now we do this, I'm like, I'm not going to read anyone else's opinion because now I have to have an opinion.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what other people say. I intentionally avoid reading what other people's thoughts are before we talk about it, just to make sure that I'm not letting other people's ideas leak into these.
The initial reaction before reviews release was that it was good, and people really liked it. And then apparently it has really mixed reviews, which I haven't read any or saw anything.
Yeah.
Which confused me.
I've only talked to one other person who's watched it, and they were disappointed with it also. So,
but at the same time,
I don't think we're alone.
I was also excited because it's like the first actual movie of 2020. I was like, I knew was coming out, and I wanted to watch it. Like, there's been other
first one comes 5 days before the end of the year.
Like, there's stuff that's come out, but I haven't had any want to watch it. Like, I didn't even know it was coming out. It just popped up, and I watched it. And I ended up liking it or not. But like, this is the first one I knew it was coming out years before.
Looked forward to it.
Yeah, the first one was fun. I was really curious how they brought Steve Trevor back, which I thought they did a good job with that. I like that.
Yeah, I do think they did a good job with that, for sure.
I like Kristen Wiig, so I was excited to see what she did, and she was fine. Pedro Pascal, it's weird seeing his face in every scene and not have a helmet on like he does in The Mandalorian. He was fine. He seemed like he was having a good time. Gal Gadot seems more confident as Wonder Woman than I think she ever did before. Like, she seemed more confident, and I was up for that. The first one, she kind of seems like no one really knew if she was going to be good yet. Like, they got a taste of it in Batman v Superman. Everyone was like, oh, she looks the part. She's cool. And then Wonder Woman, she was just really good. Like, there was nothing to it. And this one, she seemed like the weight of I have to impress everyone was off her shoulders, and she was just having fun. Like, she just seemed more relaxed during it. And I don't know if that's just because she's supposed to be around way longer because it's in the future from when the last movie was or what was going on. But she just seemed more into it than before.
Oh, no, I guess the future from the last movie. You're right. Disregard.
Yeah, the future past. The future from the last movie, the past from where we are currently sitting.
That's why I was so confused. Like, it's all in the past.
Yeah,
it's
so
2020.
Like, there was that. I don't know. There's a lot of problems I have with the movie, and the more we're sitting here and talking about it, I'm really realizing spoiler-free reviews are hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say why we didn't like it without kind of giving spoilers, but
yeah, it was fine. Like, it was just disappointing. There was so much hype for it coming out to HBO Max because the world's locked inside. Everyone was so excited.
I mean,
and it kind of makes me wonder if they did this because they thought it was going to bomb. So they were like, let's just put it up here and see what happens. Kind of like how Mulan went with Disney Plus. Like, was Disney concerned about Mulan bombing? That they just threw it on Disney Plus and said, let's see what happens and go from there?
I don't know. I feel like that was just this is the only way we're going to get eyes on this right now is to do it this way.
But and I don't know if this is just because Marvel's bigger, but they've just pushed back all their stuff. They just keep pushing it back and saying it's going to come out later. Jordan, you have something to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
You look like you just saw a ghost.
I have a hot take on this one, and it's not really hot. It's just, to me, HBO basically just shit it all over Disney. I mean, it's not even comparable in my opinion. I mean, the whole thing of, your base fee and then an additional fee, I think that's gone now because I really believe that the HBO's just destroyed that model. Because why would I pay extra when I already have, when basically people paid extra money on Disney Plus, like what? An extra $40 when they could have just waited
$30 or
a few months to have it as a standard content, right? So to me, what HBO did is they just destroyed that. Because why would I didn't understand why people paid extra, period.
I think now
it's like, why would they do it?
I think the free 30 days is smart. Like, you have 30 days to see it on HBO, and then it's gone. Which I guess this is a different topic from what we're talking about, but kind of not at the same time. It's smart because then if you want to see it from there, you have to get it on VOD or go to the theaters. Which, if you go to the theaters, please wear a hazmat suit, 6 masks, and 7 pairs of gloves. I'm really tired of sitting indoors, so can you please help my life?
Hey guys, let's all go back to the movies in 2022, okay? Can we just... Does that sound good?
But yeah, so, the end of the spoiler review. Would you recommend watching this movie? Jake, we'll start with you. You just did a long sigh.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends. Depends on the person, is what I would say. I think for someone who's really into superhero movies and a big fan of Marvel movies, yeah, I mean, you might as well.
Or DC.
In terms of completionism, watch them all. It wasn't like terrible. Like, I feel like I completely wasted 2.5 hours. But if you're just kind of a casual movie watcher, just looking for like. For me personally, I have not watched all the Marvel movies. Whenever I watch a superhero movie, I usually have to ask one of you guys to fill in the gaps because I do not know the background
It was a DC
to most
movie.
Of the movies.
It wasn't a Marvel movie.
Okay, well, same thing. Any superhero, DC, Marvel. Yeah, there you go. That proves my point exactly. All right, sorry. Okay, so DC, Marvel, same shit, really. I mean. I have to ask you guys to fill in the blanks because I don't watch them all. I don't know all the background. I don't know where, any of the superhero backstories really, or how they've interacted in previous movies or comics or whatever. So, in that boat, maybe not really worth watching. It really wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't a super entertaining movie. There's plenty of other superhero movies that I've enjoyed watching way more than this one. But if you're a big fan of, all the superhero DC and Marvel universe movies, you might as well watch it. It wasn't bad by any means, but it also wasn't mind-blowing.
Jordan, what about you?
I would recommend this movie to my friends that I know that like superhero movies. If you like superhero movies, if you like action movies, I highly recommend it because it's a good movie in that sense. It just fits the plot. I mean, there's nothing great about it. It's just a decent movie, and if you need something to watch, there you go.
If you need something to watch,
it's fine. And that's it. It is like if I went to Applebee's, and you know what you're getting. It's not boring.
If I went to Applebee's,
it's not boring. It's not great. You'll be entertained and satisfied for 2.5 hours, and then after that, you'll be like, "Oh, well, I'll forget this." And
yeah,
it's forgettable. I think that's a great way to put it, Mason. It's a forgettable movie.
You guys
I
made
agree.
fun of me for the beginning of it, but yeah, it's fine. Like,
yeah, no, that's a good way to put it.
There was nothing horrible about it, but there was a lot that was bad about it. So that being said,
I think it'd be a lot easier to talk about when we get to when we're no longer spoiler free.
That's what I was going to be saying. So we ended this video. You want the rest of this? Go click over